I think one of the main problems here is people like torture themselves over work and don't have the right sense of balance and aren't willing to address that their well-being is needs to be balanced with their work. And I think that you really, really need to pay attention to your own sense of well-being and what's happening.
I would say to them, don't treat yourself as a machine, and it's very easy to do that in Oxford. Everyone is under an immense amount of pressure. We're all here because we're high achievers, right? So we're very self-motivated, and under those circumstances, I mean, it's perfectly normal to shut yourself away for 48 hours and have an essay crisis. Well, that aspect of isolation, pushing yourself that hard, not looking after yourself, not eating the right things, doing exercise, socializing normally, those things are incredibly damaging. And I mean, my story is evidence of that. That's how serious it can get. Your mental health is affected by the way that you are physically, and it's so, so important to look after yourself in a physical sense, and mentally to take the time out to be with your friends and to have fun.
I think the hardest thing for someone who has a mental illness at any university is to manage a work schedule by yourself, particularly in research. When you have classes, they kind of get you out of bed in the morning, theoretically. But when you're doing a research project by yourself, you need all that motivation to keep going. And that's fine when you don't have this handicap working with you. But when you're depressed and it's hard enough just to get out of bed in the morning, adding academic work to that is quite extraordinary.
The way that I get through things is that I have like really, really good psychiatric help. So I have two clinical psychologists. I was really lucky I got on this like program because of the post-traumatic stress. They put me on this program, and then when we finished, they just kept going with me. So they said, okay, we'll do this now, and we'll talk about this. And it was like I was really, really lucky. And like all the stuff that I've done with them has been what's made a difference in my life most, because it's all like practical means of like improving like my life and looking at ways to deal with the important thing is like looking at ways to deal with everyday situations, which obviously before didn't do that well, because like everyone has coping mechanisms. So whereas like my coping mechanism before was like something's gone wrong, retreat to room, and then that would escalate into okay, retreat to room, cut self, like feel quite paralyzed for for however many hours, and then like that would kind of impact on like a week, say. Whereas now it would be like, okay, something's gone wrong, whatever you do, don't go back to your room. Like, worst idea.